What's going on, Bass-TEC fans? Welcome back. Thank all the viewers that's already got on here live. Looks like right now we've got 15 live viewers. So make sure, here's the number one thing starting off right off the bat that I want to make sure to inform everybody about. From the video that we done last night, the way that you get entered in for the giveaway items that we have from our wonderful sponsors for our Hooked Up Lives, you've got to take and like this YouTube live, leave us a comment within the live feed section, and then you also, the number one thing is it is shared on our Georgia Bass-TEC Facebook page. So take a moment right now, if you haven't already, get over there to our Facebook page, share this live feed out. If you watching this show after the fact of it being recorded, just make sure share the live feed from our Facebook page on Georgia Bass-TEC. So here we are, have our anglers from Extreme John Boat. Welcome, men.
What's up?
Thank y'all for taking time and sitting down and going through this interview. And you know, we sat down last night going through the beginning part, everything. And I'm gonna tell you, I am super stoked for this interview. I really am, because man, we was having nothing but laughs the entire time last night. So I'd like to welcome Taylor and Dusty from Extreme John Boat Anglers. So starting off right off the bat, we're going to change this up a little bit. I told y'all this last night, and I want to encourage all of our viewers that's getting on live with us tonight. I want to have a little bit more interaction between our viewers and these anglers that we're going to be interviewing. So make sure, leave us some comments within it. And I see we've already got our main production team for video, Decked Out John, getting on here saying what's up. So make sure, yep, that's Brett Cummings. So make sure you get on there, take and share this video out. We want to try to take and get as many people as we can on here to get a lot of questions answered by y'all too tonight. So I'd like to take just a brief moment and just go through our sponsors really quick, because without them, these Hooked Up Lives would not be possible. So our first sponsor we want to take and give recognition to G2 Gemini jerseys. Anybody that is in the market looking for or ordering a angler jersey, or if you've got other, you can get online on g2gemini.com, and you can actually see all the different types of jerseys that they do. It's not just for fishing, they have it for other items as well. So you can receive 25% off any apparel orders. So all you have to do is, once you complete your order through G2 Gemini, submit it. At the very bottom, I believe it is where it's located, it'll have a section about coupons or you know, percentages off. You just type in G2 Georgia 20, and that gets you 25% off. We'd like to thank G2 Gemini jerseys for their sponsorship. Line Taming Serum. We're going to be giving away one of their 3 bottles of line taming serum. It is an additive that conditions your line. And I'm going to tell you, like we said last night, and I know these two men right here have tested this product out and can vouch for it fully. It is amazing. If you go out there and you make that cast and everybody does it, gets a backlash, or that spinning rod that's just spooling off wrong and knotting up, you put this line conditioner on it, line taming serum, it is amazing. We're going to be giving away one of their 3 bottles, thanking Line Taming Serum for the sponsorship. Our next one is Rejuvenate. We'll be giving away one of their live well treatment formulas that they have, that additives to your water, gets into those hotter months where fish are really challenged with warmer water. You put this in with the addition of ice into your live well, your fish will take and make it in for weigh in and make it right back into the water. So we'd like to thank Rejuvenate. We'll be giving away one of their free bottles right here on the screen is what we're going to be giving away. So all you have to do, like I said, like us, leave us a comment, and share it on from our Facebook page. And takes us to our second to final sponsor. Forgot we got a new one. Dugout Bait and Tackle. We're going to be giving away one of their free hats, swag gear from the Dugout Bait and Tackle. If you haven't been down there and checked them out, down in Marietta, Georgia, they have got wall-to-wall bait selections, all that you need. Amazing store, great people, treat you like family. And I hear they also got an amazing, I even seen it on Facebook today. They had a large order of kayaks that came in. So I'd like to thank them for their sponsorship and commitment to us. Then we also, and I still, forgive me, I stayed up too late last night and I didn't even upload the logo. So I promise Castleberry, I'll wind up getting to it. So we have our next sponsor, which is Castleberry Performance Lure Company. We'll be giving away some of their products that they have here. Jigs that they've got. We've got a chatterbait, and we've also got some shaky heads. So we're going to be giving away some of their items here. All you have to do, like I already told you, those ways to enter in, we'll do the draw on Friday night. So thank all of our sponsors and commitment to the Georgia Bass-TEC Hooked Up Lives. So now we're done with all that. Now we can get down talking fishing. What do y'all say?
Go. We're ready.
So let's kind of start off just breaking the ice and kind of talking about y'all getting into John boats. How did y'all get into fishing with extreme John boat anglers?
I guess Seton, huh? Yeah, we started fishing the local reservoir in Carroll County, and it was fun. And we started little tournaments going on there, and it's fun. And then we seen the TEC, and our club wasn't big enough, for the TEC. So, Jeff's club, Extreme John Boats, was a qualifier for the TEC. We got to try that. So that's what we did.
Whole game plan was just to get in the TEC, making top four, and be able to fish TEC this year was the plan for our club going to Jeff's club.
So I mean, here's the thing, man. Y'all don't only qualify for the TEC, y'all are points champions within Extreme. So congrats on that. And I'm gonna take pauses in between a lot of questions, interactions, because I really want to make sure that we interact with all of our viewers that takes time, gets on here, leaves comments with this stuff. So got Bryson Hall. He said he's ready for a good live. I'm telling you, these men are here. Just sit back. It's going to be an interesting show. They've got a lot of knowledge that we're going to try to tap into here in a little bit. So Ben Kersey, I believe is how you say his last name, says the best duo in the business. So I think we might have a nickname for y'all, Team Duo. Or is that do-over? Is that duo? I don't know. So Chris Gayton, what's up, guys? And y'all know who Chris Gayton is, right?
Heard of him.
Yeah, heard of him. That's right. I love how you put that. That was just like, yeah, heard of him. Chris Gayton and Mike Strickland was the 2019 Georgia Bass-TEC state champions that y'all were going to debunk coming into the 2020 event, right?
Everything goes right.
Let's see.
All right, hold your seat. Don't get too excited over it now. All right, so Wes Wilson, what's up, everybody? Yep, here he is talking about hashtag Team Castleberry. Oh, we got our club president, Eli Self, from Dahlonega John Boat representing. Appreciate you getting on there, buddy. So let's you've told us about how you got started in a John boat. How about let's hear, because I heard it last night. Let's hear about y'all's boat setup that y'all got, or boats.
We fished out of mine last year. It's a 87 old grass trap, I believe. I bought it pretty well the way it is now. The way it's decked, painted. Obviously, that's the number one thing everybody tends to notice is the digital camo, white and black and gray. But went through it, did all LED lights and most of the compartments, live well, outside, inside. We've done a trailer makeover
Twice.
Yeah, twice. We've done a lot. It's as far as batteries, 29 group batteries, 24 volt brushless, 250 pound trolling motor in the rear, 112 Ultrex on the front. The Rance hook 7. I run all my mapping on, most of my mapping. Lowrance Elite 9 on top of it that I run all my side imaging, down imaging, all that stuff.
So I don't mean to be rude to interrupt you. I apologize, but I want to mention this before I forget. You mentioned you're running the brushless motor on the transom. How long have y'all ran that brushless motor?
All year last year.
Yeah, all year.
Well, what's y'all's take? Because I know that's really the biggest thing that's happening right now. You see the Lowrance Ghost. A lot of these new trolling motor companies, they're going to the brushless style motors. Y'all seen positives, negatives, stronger, weaker? What do you think?
I was a 6-pound 24-volt non-brushless, and it pushed good, but it just ate up batteries. I mean, it would, one switch to this one, which they call it 250 pounds, and it is way stronger than the 86, but I don't know about 250 pounds. But either way, being brushless, it's brushless and stepless, so your control, there's no steps. It's just a gradual turn, and it'll speed up. We can run like 4.2 miles an hour fully loaded with both of us in it with just a rear motor, which we never do. But, overall, it's been great, especially for the price. It's an inexpensive motor. But being brushless, you can run that rear motor everywhere you go 2 days on the water and never run the batteries dead. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Austin Smith is calling y'all are straight up hammers.
He's not too bad.
No, he's not too. He's down at college fishing for Bruton Parker College, and they had a tough tournament last Friday. Obviously terrible, but they finished 19th out of 140 boats, so doing pretty good itself.
Hey, that is speaking volume for itself, and I want to commend him on this. I hate to even I love hearing the word hammers. I really do. Like, hammers are, you hear a lot of terms in the fishing industry referring to an individual and how good they fish, but hammer's one that I've always liked. You play rock, paper, scissors. What's one of the things that typically wins all the time? You know what I mean? Get that hammer. So. Appreciate that comment. And Tim, do y'all know a Tim Horsley? How do you pronounce that last name? Y'all able to read the screen?
Yeah, he is. That's true. That's true.
He's the person that drove us to do as good as we do, because he whooped our butt for a year straight. Took our money almost every tournament, and we got tired of it. And we're going to learn how to bass fish.
I said about 4 tournaments after fishing, and he just beating the crap out of us, that if I can ever beat this guy, I can beat anybody.
So, curiosity, was he John boat fishing, big lake fishing? What kind of?
At our reservoir in Carroll County, Lake Seton.
No.
Oh, okay. So
the first year there, he was like, "Hey," we see him at the boat ramp. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a little pot tournament. Why don't you come out?" Yeah, it was just a donation program for him. What it was.
we funded his 2017 fishing career. A lot of us did.
Yeah. So Eli's got kind of our first question kind of coming out of the gate here. So make sure, folks, leave us some questions. You want us to kind of interact, and we'll get to the nuts and bolts here in a little bit. Because I know we touched on it last night on a subject that I kind of paused you on right there in a moment that we'll go back to that I believe is going to be a really interesting topic to discuss. So Eli Seth's got the question: what is your mindset for tournament days? Covering water or just hunker down in one area? What's y'all's thought?
We typically just put a game plan together. I mean, we do a lot of research. We do a lot of pre-fishing. So that day we're typically sitting, or the night before, we're sitting behind this computer going over the map or going over, Google Earth, and we lay out a plan. And sometimes it has timestamps on it as far as till this time, unless the fish are there. If they're there, we say. If they're not, we want to be here by this time. So we try to complete plan together from each place we're going to go until we figure them out, or whatever may be the case. But it's typically a pretty significant plan in place, unless otherwise.
And you sell those game plans, right?
Yeah, high price.
You accept PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and all like that?
Cash App, whatever you got.
Kitex.
Oh, Kite. Yeah, just get straight Kite. I like that, man. Who cares about money? Just give me the bait. That's awesome. So I think Eli had that next question. I think you had touched based on it. What was it? You said 4.6, wasn't it? What's your speed you're getting out of the boat?
No, just running the rear motor alone, we get 4.2. If we run the Ultrex with it, we can run 5.2.
5.2. Sorry about that. And I don't remember y'all stating it. What was the name of the brand of the brushless motor y'all running?
It's a Cloud Mountain. I don't even know if they're still making them. I've been trying to find another one, and they were on Amazon and Walmart, and then you could actually go to Cloud Mountain Products. But I don't know if they're still making them or if they're making changes or what's going on. But I haven't seen them recently.
I'm actually, while I'm sitting here talking with y'all, I'm going to try to pull it up and see if I can. You said Cloud Mount, like the cloud in the sky.
Yeah, Cloud Mountain.
Oh, Cloud Mountain. Okay. And I want to mention something in advance. I know we had it last night. So, folks, I want to, if something happens, when we did the pre-interview, we stayed on, what was it last night, Dusty? No, we stayed on what?
2 or 3 hours.
Nearly, 2 or 3 hours. We got kicked off, I think, a couple of times. So, if it winds up, y'all just hang tight and we'll wind up coming back. So, I just thought I would mention that. I know it was getting kind of glitchy there a couple of times in the beginning. So, Cloud Mount 86-pound thrust trolling motor.
This one's a 250. We both had the 86-pound, and then we switched to the 250 on both of our boats.
250. I'm a terrible host. I ain't paying attention to you, Emma. Yeah, you're right. They're tough to kind of come across. I'm honest all the time. I was going to just see if I can just find it. And I've got it on this software where I can just do a screen share and show what it looks like. So, but we'll see if we maybe can get some post in the comments through with our Facebook. Maybe somebody can put it out there. So Tim White had the same question there. What is the brand of the rear brushless motor? So
Yeah, I think.
Patricia Payton says the best out there. Y'all know Patricia?
Yep.
Awesome. So, all right. So let's kind of dive in now. We're getting up to quite a few viewers on here. We appreciate that. Kind of reiterate again, folks, make sure like us, leave us a comment, and share this live feed from our Georgia Bass-TEC Facebook page. All you got to do is type in GA Bass-TEC, TEC. Get on that page, share it, get it out there to folks. That way they can see this live feed as well. That's the way you get entered in for the drawing. So let's dive right in and talk about it. You started mentioning your fish finder, your Lowrance that you're running, and the mapping capabilities. Expand on this mapping, because the way you talked about your boat setup, I've not heard of anybody doing this yet. Nobody.
So I started with
Nobody's doing it. Don't.
Yeah. Can we do this offline? No. I started with the Hook 7, the original Hook 7, and it's really been flawless. I mean, it's not an expensive grass, but that's where I started somewhere, and you can through Social Map, CMAP Genesis, go to Social Maps, and you can download maps of a lot of the reservoirs for free, and it's a full contour. And they get that by people basically tracking their trips, recording and logging the sonar. Then you add it into the computer, and it will, update within about a week or so.
Yeah, it's usually about 4 to 6 days.
So that's how we started doing that with the Hook 7. And if I have a map of a lake, then I will just use it for straight mapping. I don't run anything else on it unless I'm drop shotting on the front of the boat or something. I might use it. But then when I got the Elite 9, its capabilities are so much greater than the Hook 7. Obviously, being touchscreen, Bluetooth, so your text messages through the screen, you can text back through the graph. I've got a iPad that's mounted in the back of the boat, so he can view everything that is on the Elite 9. So we run the iPad on a RAM mount, and he can see everything that I'm seeing up front.
And mind you, it's not a small iPad either. It's one of the larger iPads to be able to see it.
10 or 12 inch, something like that.
That just blows my mind. I mean, of all the anglers that I have seen on the water, through with Georgia Bass-TEC last year, through with our anglers in our club and other clubs doing interviews that I've went in through last year, I've not witnessed anybody having an iPad basically streaming a screen.
It's mirrored, so I can get on the iPad and I can actually change stuff while we were going off the iPad.
Yeah.
Man.
And we can both go to the back of the boat and just sit down on the back, and while we're driving, obviously with the Ultrex, you can drive with the remote. So I'll just drive with the remote, and we'll just sit there and look at the iPad and run side imaging, 100 foot, and we can both see it, mark fish, whatever, or shad, whatever we want to mark, and get back up, and I'll switch it back to down imaging, what we run mostly, and then we can both be seeing down imaging. Got that transducer on the back of the boat, and then the Ultrex has the picture, so it's hooked up to the Hook 7, and I just have them double stacked on the front.
I want to dive into a question. Okay, this is just no right or wrong answer. It's just everybody's different. I heard you say that you're predominantly running in the duration of the day, probably not moving, but I would assume just sitting during the day. Your down scan. Why do you just run your down scan? Just curiosity.
New Lowrance on the Elite, they came out with the fish ID. So basically, previously when I ran down scan on the Hook 7, your bass were little white dots. Well, little white dots are really hard to determine and be for sure what it is. Now Lowrance has stepped it up where, like on sonar, you see arches, you see red arches. So what they did with down imaging is
Oh no, I think we just lost them. Nope, there you are. You come back. You said with down imaging, and I lost you.
Yeah, with down imaging, you get a much clearer picture, and you can really pick up everything that's much better than sonar. Sonar shows everything. So basically, what Lowrance did is they took the sonar, where you had the arches, and they transitioned that into the down imaging. So
it's like an overlay.
Yeah, basically an overlay. So, and also you can tell by coloration. So the arches, if they're green, it's you're talking 10, 12 inches. As they start to turn, green on the outside and then slowly into yellow and orange in the middle, or if you see a very large streak that's red in the middle, it's a giant.
Meats and taters, or as we call them, hammers.
Yeah. So it's so much easier to read. Once I figured it out, it's night and day difference.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all know Mason Williams, and I'll take a pause there for a moment. When is the Bass Fishing Clinic held for the pro tips?
Seat and guide service.
See, there was a lot of insides. Like I was sitting there wondering, I'm like, I know that's not directed at me. So do y'all have a clinic set up for pro tips? I mean, I guess it's tonight. Start asking. I mean, put them on the hot seat. Start asking the questions about seating. Find out from these guys what's going on. I mean, personally, I don't fish lake seating in the small water anchor team. So, I mean, hey, ask away, right?
We can get, as long as Tim Horsley's not on here, then we can give all the tips you want.
Well, and I hate to be harsh, but if things get out of control and if y'all being kind of the control of the show, I have ability to boot people out of this live feed. So you just let me know. I can literally give them a boot. So Tate Smith says my cousin is famous. So which cousin is it?
It'd be my cousin.
All right, awesome. Now that is, I mean, hey, state championship. Honest to goodness, to qualifying into Georgia Bass-TEC, it's not a walk in the park. It's a challenge to get in these top fours and fish and compete at the top level each year. So, hey, I'm right there with you. It may not be the Bass Pro or Elites to MLF or anything like that, but y'all have done an outstanding job. Marcy McCarver, don't understand a thing y'all are talking about, but wanted to see my nephew. That is good moral support. Who knows? I may learn a thing or two. So that's awesome. Thank you, Marcy, for getting on here. So we got it. Here it is again. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm loving this statement. 2 hammers right there. I have learned a lot fishing with Taylor. That's awesome. So, I'd say that's a screen name to somebody. So do y'all know this person?
Yeah, it's Michael Lafitte.
Okay. I did not even want to try to attempt in the beginning part of that. I got pirate.
Yeah.
So appreciate you getting on here. Caleb Barrow saying hook in hand.
Man, that's a story if you want to hear it.
Hey, the microphone is all y'all's.
So I'm doing another guided seating trip. 2 weeks ago, I think that's my little brother's partner, and they're down at fishing, and they came up I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we were on a special spot, that we always go to, and he had some big game plan that the water was going to be muddy and he was going to catch them shallow and black and blue, everything. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And so he's fishing a ton. But anyway, we went to this main point and, thought we could catch him on a couple different things, and they didn't bite. So picked up an A-rig and just started whacking them. But his partner started throwing a silver buddy, a blade bait, and caught, I think the first one he caught on, it was early. It was, it was 30, barely 32 degrees, 34 degrees, something like that. It was cold. And he boat flips the fish. It's laid in the floor, kind of flopping around. We're on the front deck fishing. He's on the back. And we look back and the fish flopped and the little silver buddy come flying out or whatever. And he was like, oh, crap. He kind of shook his hand, but it didn't go anywhere. So he's like, I got a hook in the hand. And so
it was buried.
Yeah, Austin Lane went back there and he looked at it, and he don't deal well with blood and injury. Yeah, I'm out. And he just come walking back to the front. So I was like, my first thought was like, yes, I get to do the whole braided line trick. I was excited about it. And I went back there and I was like, oh no, that's the Shaw Grigsby and Jason Christie trick there. So it was buried way deep, and it had tried to poke back through. It was in the palm of his hand right here. I got a picture. And so you could see where it tried to prick back through. So I had a first aid kit. I carry pretty much everything on my boat. Is probably why it weighs 2,000 pounds. But anyway, so basically just got it ready. And I said, we got two options. I can either get a fillet knife out, make an incision, and go all the way through, cut it off and back out, or we can go to the hospital. And he's like, heck no, we're catching them. Let's get it out. So I cleaned the fillet knife up real good, make sure it was, sterilized, I guess, to the best it could, and cleaned his hand up and got it where I wanted it, made one little incision. And I told Dusty, I was like, man, I've never had to cut anybody before, but that is a harder thing than you realize, to purposely cut somebody.
Yeah.
So the first incision wasn't really enough, so I had to go back and do another one. Good thing and he said that wasn't the worst part. He said, really, that was just like a paper cut. But finally, I got it where I wanted it, and pushed on it kind of hard one time, and I saw the tip of it just poke through. And I was like, dude, just turn your head, bite your jacket, do something, but we got to go. He's like, just go for it. So I shoved it. Man, the noise that it made coming through is bad. So we got it through. I just reached up, grabbed a plier, snipped it off, flipped it one time, and slid it right back out, cleaned him up, threw some Neosporin and a Band-Aid on it, went back to catching them. We caught 32 that day, I think, and about 25 of them were on the A-rig.
Oh my gosh. Taylor, I appreciate you telling that story. We instantly just dropped down 7 viewers that instantly. So no, I'm just kidding. But Caleb, if he's fine with sharing it, because you said it happened to Caleb, right? If you said you got a picture, and here's the thing, I don't want no graphic meat cutting, blood spilling out, and all like that. No. I don't want it to be that harsh. But if Caleb's fine with it, leave us a comment. And if people are on here wanting to see the picture that you've got, I can try to make that happen. And you send this to me through Messenger, and I will try to see if I can do a screen share and show y'all if y'all are interested. And I don't want to, I'll pre-warn everybody beforehand and say, viewers.
It's not that group.
Okay. I didn't want to, I'd have to disclose a viewer discretion advised, but it's all up to Caleb. If Caleb is fine with it, I will not share it. So just leave us a comment, Caleb. Let us know if you're fine with doing it. So while you're doing that, that's, oh my gosh. So blade bait. We got talking about blade bait last night, and Taylor, you mentioned it that man. You mean you both on the same boat with that bait, right?
Yeah, and that's what I told him. Hey, he was like, I'll catch him on a blade bait if y'all are catching him on a hair jig and a rig and this, that, and the other. And I was like, I hope you can, because I've tried tremendously. He just got the picture.
Whew.
Um,
Whew. Okay, I just totally lost everything you just said. You mind me starting that? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
yeah, no, so he didn't. I mean, he threw it around maybe 15 minutes, and I think he ended up catching. He caught 2 or 3 on it, and then on that one he caught one, and he once we got it off and took it out and everything, he was like, "Here, you can have that. I don't want it anymore." So he gave it to me. I've been fishing with it. I don't know if it's good luck or bad luck, but anyway, he ended up catching a few on it. I don't know. I couldn't catch him, but he did. That's for sure.
Oh my God, I'm right there with you. Blade baits and me, man. Maybe it's meant to be that I stay away because I've got an image burned in my mental lab in the back here somewhere right now. So we'll wait for that comment to kind of come through the live feed because I definitely want to ask permission from Caleb. I don't want to, if he's fine with it, stuff like that. So Cody Thrower, I believe, Thrower says a bunch of great guys.
Yeah, he fished with us when we fished at Seton all the time.
Yeah, he caught it pounder, and then he quit fishing and sold all his fishing gear. I bought it.
Man, I hear you. So Brett Taylor, Parham Smith, look at our Tay-Tay. So I guess Tay-Tay is your nickname?
Unfortunately.
How about the Tay-Tay duo?
No.
The Dusty Tay duo. How you like that? So appreciate your comment there. Mason Williams, got my notebook ready. So what's y'all's plans? Oh boy, I'm liking this. Yeah, now we're getting away from Seton. We're coming up in the North region. So what's y'all's plans for Latham? What do you guys do when y'all expect the weather one way and then sudden changes? And I seen it today, and I want to say something. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. Look at last week. Okay, we had Thursday. I got a picture. I work in Canton, and we're right there off the Etowah River. Thursday was river out of. I think it was Thursday or Friday. Out of the banks, the river was flooded. Somebody had a picture on one tree in the same spot for 3 days. Flooding one day, green field the next day, and then snow the next. That's Georgia. So tell us about your plans for Latham and then those sudden changes they just mentioned.
Well, that's a repeat of last year as far as the weather. That's exactly. I'll tell you what we do. We finished 6th because we scrambled all day for 5 fish. That's exactly what we do.
And we pre-fished Latham last year, 3 days.
Yeah.
And I think the last day we pre-fished, we had 17 pounds pre-fishing. And we were like, man, we got a chance, you know. This was our very first tournament with Extreme. Looking forward to it. We were excited for the season to start. And very first tournament, we're like, we got a chance. We show up the day of the tournament, and that lake was chocolate milk. We pre-fished in 4 to 6 foot of visibility, and when we got there, it was 3 inch of visibility. And we didn't have a clue. We tried to do what we were doing the weekends before. It wasn't working, and we went to toll this different places. We went everywhere and got lucky to catch 5 fish.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, that was the tournament that I showed up and done the interviews for the 2019 qualifiers for Bass-TEC.
Yes.
And y'all had, it was 18 or was it 20 pounds won that tournament at Latham?
Yeah,
Troy and Lee won it with 20 something, a little bit over 20 pounds.
That's what I was thinking.
We had like 12 pounds.
And Jeff Reese and them got second, if I remember right. They had a healthy stringer too.
17 pounds.
But they wasn't no giants. Like when I say giants, I don't think they wouldn't know over like 5 pounds. Everything was just all cookie cutter, same size, if I remember right.
Yeah, just good quality bags.
Yeah.
So
Troy and Lee had a couple.
So okay, you obviously learned that day of maybe some negatives of when drastic changes of weather. give us some examples of maybe some things that you learned going into that Latham tournament that, in particular, if you want to call out baits or if you want to call out, we were running this pattern or that pattern, I want to try to make it be too specific so y'all can tiptoe around it if you want to, or if you want to dive into it fully.
You got to fish condition. And that's why we did what we did last year. At the end of the year, our final decision, I think, as we talked after we left the Classic, was the kind of two things. The reason we did what we did was
because of that tournament.
Yeah, because of that tournament. That was the starting point, but the turning point at the same time, is we learned to get out of our comfort zone, fish conditions, not fish what we may have already known or didn't know.
And be prepared to change.
Yeah, don't be scared to change it up. So,
because
that changed everything.
Correct me if I'm right. Probably before, when y'all was pre-fishing Latham, if I remember correctly, it may have been probably just almost a pea soup, maybe not necessarily a pea soup, but maybe just a light green tinge to the water going in pre-fishing for that one last year, and then it dirtied up.
It was not. It was
no. It was
crystal.
6. It was 6 foot of viz. You could see a jerk bait at 6 foot.
I mean, it was crystal.
Yeah. And when we got there, it was
mud.
I mean, it was 3 inches if we're.
And probably, I'm probably sharing something that, it's evident stuff that a lot of people key in on. But Latham, for example, when you get visibility on these North Georgia, pristine clear, typically reservoirs, those fish are not going to be up on the bank in that time of year. They're just, it's an oddity. They may be a small window that they're there. Correct me if I'm right. Maybe that's how y'all done going into it. It was obviously deeper fish, maybe. And then muddy water, it's a anywhere from open water to 3 inches of water.
Yep.
40 degrees or 60 degrees. That way they could be anywhere.
Yeah. No, I mean, they pretty much, we pulled up our first spot and they, I made maybe a couple casts. I got all excited, made a few casts with I think a rattle trap and caught one and made a few more casts in catching things. So I laid it down, picked up a red crankbait and made 1 or 2 casts with it and caught one and made 3 more casts in catching thing. And I laid both of them down. I don't think I picked them up the rest of the day. And that was just being dumb, just didn't think about it. But after the fact, I was like kicking myself, because they screamed at us first thing that morning. We just ignored them.
Yep. It's a good question. Appreciate that Mason. Tim Orsley, there he is. Tim's back. No tips on Weston?
He meant
Seton.
Seton. I got you.
He should be the one giving the tips.
Yeah, we need to get Tim Horsley on here. That'd be the page.
So if y'all would like, I could probably straight from my YouTube channel. I can definitely get him on here down the road, set him up and schedule y'all can even write the questions beforehand if you would like.
I don't know how good he'd be at.
How good he'd be at what?
Sharing.
Ah, well, sharing's caring, man.
He'll give you tidbits here and there. He'll give a little bit, but I don't know if he's going to full out share.
I could actually even bring him in and we can do like he can be in here with y'all at the same time. Y'all can just, like battle royale against each other. That's totally fun.
It's all fun and games now. We have a good time fishing together, all of us do.
So Eli's got a question. Are you guys more of a power fisherman, finesse fishermen? How would y'all rate yourselves?
Condition fisherman.
Whatever it takes. We won 5 tournaments last year, and we won tournaments everything from an A-rig to spinner baits to Ned rigs.
Yeah, I heard about the Ned rig last night after you wound up leaving, Dusty, about you don't sound too positive of a fairy wand.
I went and bought a medium action bait caster just to throw Ned rigs and stuff.
Who told you to do that?
A bait caster?
No, I was throwing mine on a. Yeah, we throw a medium light action bait caster with 12-pound line. That's what we throw Ned rigs on, and it'll catch a 17-pound sack.
So there it is, team duo. Y'all both throw that on the same thing. Y'all are living up to this name, Team Duo. So Austin Smith took 3 of my buddies home from college with the seating guide service and caught 20 plus pounds every time. So okay, I was going to ask this a minute ago, and I hadn't. Are you for real? Do you offer guide service on seating?
I mean, it's a joke, but it's kind of a real thing because everybody's always just like, take me, take me, take me, you know. So I take people, whether it's crappie fishing. I mean, I took one of our buddies crappie fishing one day, and we sat in one hole and caught 150 or something. I'm always, and that's kind of what I love to do, honestly, just because it's fun. I know the lake so well, thanks Tim Horsley, but you know, just time though. He spent 10 years on it. I've spent 3 years on it, but I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money in 3 years on that place. Just about any time you can go out there and catch a 20-pound sack, you just, got to.
And it's kind of happening in today's time. You look at MLF, Bassmasters, FLW, the way that social media has gained so much publicity. Man, I kicked myself with work. I had so much going on, couldn't even sit down during lunch. But I saw MLF today. I cannot wait to see the highlights from today's MLF. But it's the same thing that's happening today in the John boat stuff, that really nothing anymore is secretive. Even from our standpoint on John boat lakes, you talk about guide service, and you're making a joke with Tim about him guiding and you guiding and stuff. I mean, it literally passes from one person to the next person to the next person, and it just continues on. And that's what it really fishing. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but it's about passing information along. You don't want to pass it to everybody all the time.
You can have secret spots, but with today's electronics, somebody's going to find it.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the bad downfall to electronics. It's good when you don't know nothing about a lake because you can find out that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But you've spent time and made your own brush pile, stuff like that. Somebody's going to find it.
So Tim brought it up again. No tips on seating. He's watching. So when you get talking brush piles, I was like, this is a perfect timing for this comment to come in, probably. Appreciate that comment. Caleb Barrow, he is saying, send the picture, son. So, all right. I will take and tell me, okay, I'm going to ask this question, and I'm going to play to try to figure out how to get this thing up. So if I don't pay attention very well, our viewers will definitely be paying attention, because I know we discussed it a little bit last night. But we got discussing mapping and how you feel that unit is critical doing mapping or not. You kind of touch base on it as well. Do y'all, when you go out and you get these maps and share them around and stuff like that, I know you said one of the biggest things is Google Earth, right? Everybody uses that now. So many people in the beginning didn't really understand historical imagery, what you could do by going back and looking. But do you feel like that mapping helps you understand seeing things under the water? I mean, you can go look at Google Earth historical imagery and you can see channels, you can see things, structures, stuff like that. But it ain't going to necessarily show you maybe those break lines or those little subtlety differences. Do y'all feel like that makes differences in pre-planning going into an event?
The Google Earth just shows us where to go. You're not gonna.
Gives you an idea.
Yeah, it gives you an idea of where to start or where to go start looking, I guess. And the one thing with the Elite 9 TI2 is if you can't download a map of that lake, or there isn't a map to download, then you can build a map as you go, which is what we had to do at Rocky Mountain. So yeah, being able to build your own map, and that's right then, right there, not something that was, could be 5 years old or who knows how old it is. It's as you drive along, it actually shoots the map out in front of you and it maps it as you go. So that's what seems most. You can build as you go. You can zoom out and look at it. And just kind of go from there. So the maps we can download, we download. The maps we can't download them as we go, and just time on the water, they learn more.
All right, so I've got the picture uploaded, and I'm going to try to take, and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that whole section. I'm not a very good multitasker, and I'll be straightforward with y'all. But I'm trying to make sure, giving everybody just a brief moment, if they want to say no and decline, and just don't leave the live feed, because I'll only keep it up for just a brief moment. Probably 5 seconds. I'll say when it goes on and it goes off. So if you want to turn your head, I'll give you like a countdown before I put it on there. So that way, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. There's no blood. I'll go ahead and pre-warn that. There's no blood here on this picture, okay? But I'm going to try to take and do this share screen, and I'm not that great with it, so just give me 2 seconds. Just give me some tips on what to do. No man ever reads instructions, right? Entire screen. Share audio. I guess I'll try that. Let's see how this works, guys. All right, it's going to look real weird for a split moment. And I'm going to count down, because I'm going to shrink this down, and it's right here. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, man, that was misleading. Dusty, y'all able to see it?
Oh, yeah.
I can see it.
Okay, I was just making sure y'all can. That thing is buried. Like, and I think I see it. Is that the tip of it right here coming out that little black dot?
Yeah, that's where that's where it like poked, but it just sunk all. So that's where we had to make the incision and come out. And if you look up close, you can tell that's not a hook that you can get off. There's no split rings. It actually slides. So I had to do all the surgery with the entire bait still connected.
Oh my goodness, man.
He was like, "Oh, you can take it off, but you can't, because the one barb and the one hook that it comes off of is the one that's in his hand."
Wow. Man. All right. So everybody, the screen is clear now. There's no hooks or any type of hand exposure or anything like that. So we're back to the interview. I wanted to take a minute and do that, because that was, oh man. I'm glad that he's all right though. All right. The pirate, and forgive me, I'm just going to keep calling you pirate. I've been telling him about the blade bait. So there you go. Mason Williams. It's so funny. We talked about this stuff last night. So, like Sweetwater?
No.
If it's pouring down rain, chocolate milk, yeah.
So,
if it's storming.
I heard y'all had a very interesting time trying to come through. Oh, well, I don't even know if I want to take and share info or anything like that.
No,
we went to the tunnel was tight. We had to lay down, steer like spider webs everywhere. It wasn't fun. The boat barely fit.
Yeah, the Ultrex, just the head of the Ultrex at that point was like pretty much brand new, and it's like corrugated pipe. It's crushed, and it literally was just like ka-tunk, 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 all the way. Yeah, toasted the top of it, but didn't matter. Yeah.
All right. So, which one of y'all scared of spiders?
Hell, both of us.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Whenever we have to kill spiders here at the house, guess who gets called on all the time with a house full of women? Me. Spiders don't bother me. Unless they're, well, I don't want to sidetrack. Sorry. This is y'all show. Zachary Smith. You can fish better than me, but I'm prettier than, he just says you. He don't say y'all. He says you. And he says, love you, Chi.
Yeah.
Says you're fun.
That's his daughter.
I got you.
Jesus.
Chi says you're famous. Still got to take me to use my birthday present. You got me. So I guess that's a fishing related item.
The rod and reel.
Rod and reel. Awesome. Appreciate Zachary getting on. And the Pirates back. When are the weeknight Buckhorn tournaments going to start back up? I've never heard of Buckhorn. Tell us about it.
Lake Buckhorn, get on I-20 between Villarica and Temple, cross over the river, Lake Buckhorn. I guess it is a private lake, but we'll hold weeknight tournaments out there. I think I kind of talked about it yesterday. We know 6:33, 3-fish limit, $20 a boat. Run what you brung. It don't really matter. He's running like a 25 and a 21 or 22 foot bass boat.
We're out in our John boats.
Yeah, and it was funny. I think there's only been one gas motor boat that's won it yet. Yeah, we run out there. I went and fished there today actually for a little while, and it was 3 foot up. It was in people's yards over the docks. Wow. Caught one hammer.
Hey. So I didn't catch it. Did you say when the night or when the one night tournament's going to start back up? You said
time changes just because of work and everything, so everybody can get off, be at the ramp by 6:30, and then we'll take off and go fish till 9:30. So once time we get a little bit more time.
I know this is sidetracking a little bit. Guy at work told me this. Have y'all heard that time they may not be changing? Like it's trying to go through legislation right now that they're not wanting to do the daylight saving times, getting rid of it. I heard that last week that they're trying to push that through for eliminating it. But anyways, sidetracking it, that would probably change a little bit for night fishermen. So Matt Moore, two of the best net men I know. So I guess y'all know Matt Moore.
He's gonna be my partner this year.
You know what's so funny? When I seen that name pop up, I have got a good friend of mine that I know from up here in North Georgia. His name is Matt Moore. And I was thinking, is this the Matt Moore that I know? But I don't believe it is.
No, he better be ready to be a net
man. Appreciate that comment, Matt. Trisha Payton says Rocky Mountain Kings. So why are y'all known as the Rocky Mountain Kings?
Well,
we won both of them.
Yeah, I've won 3 tournaments out there. We won 2.
Yep.
The Rocky Mountain Hammer Duos. Man, we're just adding to this title. I mean, y'all are, man, tagline city. So Austin Smith saying, Matt, you stay running that net.
That's perfect.
And you know what? This is so. Was people watching this beforehand? Like literally, I'm not even going to say it. What was we saying right before we went live? Y'all take the mic.
Was calling me big on screen.
Yeah.
And Merrick backed me up and says from wrenching all the fish in. We said he was so small because he runs around with the net all day.
Right. I didn't get this figure from just
catching big ones and netting, running circles, netting.
Well, maybe you are running it. The reason is because I say get the net, and he said, I'll both flip it.
Yep. This is so funny, man. That was exactly the comments. So Tim White says, that's my worst fear. I'm thinking he's maybe talking about the spider, maybe.
That or the hook.
That or the hook, yeah, one of the 2.
Yes, I agree with that. I forgot about even that image was there and there. It came right back really, really fast. So I'm right there with you. It ain't a matter of if, it's the matter of when. It's going to happen. So we're kind of caught up on questions now and statements from everybody. Let's talk about Hard Labor Creek. Y'all fished it a couple of times, right?
Yep. I fished it twice. You fished it 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
One of the worst lakes in the state, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
So do y'all have a lot of vast knowledge, or do you not have a lot of vast knowledge out there?
We don't. We don't. Considering we've only fished it 3 times, and the 3 times we fished the same portion of the lake. So, that's the unfortunate part. Which we'll probably get a little time in it before the TEC. At least maybe 2 more times. I know we have a tournament there. that we'll probably pre-fish for, fish our tournament, and then maybe go back and pre-fish for the TEC one time together, just to see a little more of the lake, try other things, but our lake's so big, there's no telling, what can happen.
There's some fish in there. We fished it last year. We had over 17 pounds pre-fished. Yeah. Of course, tournament day, I think we had like 12.
Yeah.
But there's some, you can catch them in there for sure.
Man, that is awesome. So Tim did say definitely the hook. He don't care about spiders, it sounds like. So, okay, you're talking about hard labor, and the one question that we really dove into last night in detail, and you did earlier, about the mapping capabilities of Lowrance. What about at hard labor? Do they have the mapping yet that's shared around or anything like that through the Lowrance? Do you have those topos?
There's parts of the lake mapped online.
Yeah,
but not all of them.
There's a good portion that I've got downloaded from people building maps, and obviously I can build a map as well. Probably start doing whichever one fills up quicker, whether me building the map or using my other one. It'll just depend.
Because see, I think y'all's video didn't glitch, did it? And it did.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's back.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so I think that's so critical. That's why I wanted to really just emphasize on the Lowrance. I run Humminbirds. Okay, when I go out there and I'm running the lives, making my own mapping system, I've yet to come across where Humminbird has a setup where you can share between all your friends and download and upload onto your units. So Lowrance has definitely got an up on the mapping, especially for these small reservoir lakes. I mean,
it's all done. People got to put the time in. When we first started fishing Seton, there was, I don't know, was there any?
Yeah, there were probably half.
I don't know if there's. I know I've probably downloaded over 15 different files of Seton to it, and you just put your chip in your thing and you hit log sonar. You fish all day. You don't worry about it. You just fish, and then you download it back to the website, and they just compound the information over time from everybody's logs to build a map.
that's amazing. I mean, that, honest to goodness, that is just, it makes me sick in a way. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I bought those Humminbird Helixes, and I really just sit there and just think of that. I'm like, when you're running electric on and you're out there trying to make your own mapping. When I went out 2 years ago to Rocky Mountain and made my own mapping, I had a good friend of mine reach out and let me borrow his gas motor. He went out with me. I kind of did like a little debut showing him the Humminbird Helixes, how they run, and that was the way we mapped. If I would have done it with just the trolling motors that I had at the time, there's no way I would have got that mapping in.
Yeah, when I tried to download Rocky Mountain on the website we use, which is CMAP Genesis Social Map, Rocky Mountain is not very good. I don't know where that.
I think it's off. Like the depths are off on it too.
Yeah, it just doesn't show. It's not legitimate. So me and my younger brother Austin Lane spent like 2 days this summer pre-fishing and get hot. Like, let's just run the motor. So we just turn the rear on, half throttle, turn the Ultrex on half throttle, sit down, have a drink, eat a sandwich, and just ride up and down the lake, running side imaging, watching it on the iPad, mark stuff as we go, but we were mapping and side imaging at the same time. And we've got probably 90, one side of the lake covered.
Man, that's awesome. So Chris Gaten's got a question. Hot seat for the hammers, the duo hammers, favorite baits to throw. Go.
Can I answer for him?
Yeah, let's do that. Y'all reverse, answer for each other, and then after each other answers, then you tell if it's truth or not. Go.
All right, my name's Dusty Diamond, and I throw a black crickworm.
Actually, I don't want to laugh. That's actually pretty good. But okay, go ahead, Taylor. You have to say I'm Tay-Tay. You have to say that.
Oh, yeah, I'm Tay-Tay. Probably spinnerbait and Alabama rig, maybe my favorites.
All right, so flip it.
Well, that's seasonal.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Flip it. Is it accurate or not?
Probably like favorite. Yeah, the spinner bait is
Not a favorite.
yeah. I throw it a lot now. Like I throw it way more. Like I would not throw it before. Now I throw it a ton. But I mean, all time like favorite, which whether it be or not, is either going to be a spoon, a Alabama rig, or a secret bait called a wobbly minnow.
That's awesome. So let's get to our next question here. Tell them about our 26.8 pound bag on Seaton from Austin Smith.
There's video to go along with that. Yeah, big worms. Man, we've had some stupid bags out there. That's when they were in the grass. They get in the grass about 10 foot deep, 12 to between 10 and 15 foot deep, and you can go around and throw a big worm in that grass and just wreck them, man. Heck of a day. Summertime, deep jig or fishing. When they get up in the grass, middle of the summer, you can catch them on that big worm, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So Patricia Payton, or almost 30 pound bag on Rocky Mountain, Austin Lane's favorite lake.
That's the one I told last night. We went out 3 weeks ago and had 27 pounds flat on Rocky Mountain. Austin hates that lake. He's caught one fish there.
Well, he hates almost everything unless there's a fish given to him.
Yeah.
All right. So, Charity Dustin, gotta love those legendary trick worms. Matt Moore, don't tell them about the secret bait. So is that an inside, or is that something that's already been talked about maybe?
Probably the wobbly minnow.
I mentioned it, but I don't think you heard me. It was the wobbly minnow.
I did. I heard the wobbly minnow. I heard it.
Secret bait.
Yep. So going into hard labor, we'll kind of get to a conclusion in this show because I don't want to keep y'all much later and all of our viewers. I'll reiterate again, make sure the way that you get it entered in for this drawing that we're going to have for all of these items that we're going to be giving away Friday night, we'll be selecting one individual. All you have to do is like this video on YouTube, leave us a comment here on this YouTube video, then you have to share our video from our Facebook page on Georgia Bass-TEC. So I want to make sure, real clear to everybody, that is the 3 items, and make sure to subscribe. So, Hammers, let's hear it. What is it going to take for hard labor May 30th, 2020 to win state champions weights?
Probably whatever we show up to the scales with.
I'm gonna tell y'all both right now, live in front of our viewers and God himself. We will put y'all in the very first boat to hit the scale. Because you know what? Okay, if y'all didn't watch it, I want to leak something out. And I know Chris Gayton, he can definitely vouch. Tim White, they can vouch for this stuff. The anticipation of waiting. Tim White and them, I think, was like nearly third angler to weigh in. They had 19 pounds. Okay. We had all of our competitors. We knew going into that event what it was going to take between the two. We knew it. Us as the kind of the behind the scene guys, we kind of knew it, and we staged it. And it may or may not happen coming in. So just know that. But they had to sit in that hot seat the entire duration until the very last angler. So y'all could be first in more than one way.
I look for it to take. I mean, probably going to be post spawn, so you're not going to have the full blown giants. You know, it'll be 19 plus, but I don't think it'll be stupid. I don't think it'll be 24, 25. Not unless somebody just stumbles upon a giant. But 19, maybe 20 pounds, I think, being now if it was
time of year.
Yeah, time of year. If it was several weeks earlier, then I would say 20 plus for sure. But you take all those females and knock.
All I heard was, oh, you have all those females, and it kind of broke up.
Once all the females lose all that weight, you're gonna lose a lot with that. So 18, 19 pounds, I think, maybe 20, but I don't think it'll be a stupid, 20, 25 pounds.
What do you think, Dusty? Same thing?
I'd say it's 21 or 22 pounds. You got 28 teams.
Yes.
And they're not regular 28. They're top 4 from 7 clubs. So
yes.
You're going to have some people that know how to catch some fish there.
And I would say definitely for that time of year too. I mean, it's going to be ain't gonna be running around catching them pre-spawners, and it's going to be definitely different. So Austin Smith says the legendary Dusty's fish.
Man, he had to bring that up.
Legendary.
We were fishing. It was Memorial Day. Was it right? Memorial Day, Labor Day.
It was a Monday.
It was a Monday. We were off work. It was Memorial Day, Labor Day 1. I can't remember. I caught it 612, 6'8", 612, somewhere around there.
No. It's 514.
Oh yeah, 514. I put in the live well. I went to get her out, and she fought, and I couldn't grab a hold of her. So I finally got her out. So I just put a Coleman tag. I had the old school, popping through the lip. And I popped it through the lip and put her back in the live well. Well, he was in his boat, so we met up. I said, I got a good one. Look at this one. So when I pulled it out, I grabbed the Coleman ball. Well, when it slid back, it went like in the skin further back. So when I picked her up like Coleman ball, it just ripped that soft tissue here. She's fine, we released her. How long after?
What'd you catch it on?
Green pumpkin trickworm.
Black. It was black, right?
That was green pumpkin.
Okay.
But so we released it.
We released it right there, which was about 200 yards from where he caught it at. Yeah. And that was on a Monday. So our next tournament was that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Austin Lane were fishing together because back then Dusty fished separate and I fished separate. So we were fishing down the stretch of bank where he caught the fish, which was probably 200 or 300 yards from where he released it at. And we had been throwing top water. I laid something down, picked up something else. Austin Lane picked up I think a pop bar, and threw it probably 20 yards from where Dusty originally caught that fish, and was popping a popper, and it just came up and just engulfed it and just swallowed it. So as soon as we brought it out of the water, I picked it up for him. When I did, my hand or these two fingers went through the jaw where that cut was, where it's, like underneath it. And it cut my finger like wide open because there's like a sharp bone right there. I guess it just went through and it cut it. We fished all day. Go ahead.
Where was that fish at whenever the blade bait was around, right? Go ahead, sorry. By slicing it and cutting it open?
Probably over a mile.
Yeah, probably close to a mile. Weighed her in, put her back in at the boat ramp. 2 weeks later, we're fishing another tournament. Was it 2 weeks? Yeah, it was 2 weeks later, I think. 2 weeks later, we're fishing tournament again, and we're on that same stretch of bank. And this time, we're like 50 yards from where he originally caught it, probably 30 yards from where Austin Lane caught it. And I'm throwing an A-rig, slow rolling an A-rig, and I get dumped and I swing, and it comes up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a giant. And get it in the boat, and I pick it up, and it had only been 2 weeks, so I just pick it up with my thumb, and as soon as I do, my hand goes through the jaw again. It cuts the scar that I hadn't even finished healing yet, cut it open again. And I was like, you've got to be
You can't make it up.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, what? And I just turned the fish, and my hand was through the bottom of its lip, and he's like, that's Dusty's fish. And so it kept losing weight is the bad thing. Like it lost weight. Every time we caught it, it was skinnier. Took
It
it.
was still downfield.
Yeah, it was 5 pounds both times, but it was progressively losing.
Caught it about a month later.
It was about 2 months later. That day, waded in and dropped it off at the boat ramp a mile from where we caught it again. And about 2 months later, me and another guy were fishing together and fishing probably about 80 yards from where we caught it, 80 or 100 yards from where we originally caught it. And he was throwing a chatterbait and he got thumped and he swung and I picked it up and it's poor looking fish, just skinny, giant head, but skinny. And as soon as he picked it up, I grabbed it out of the water for him. My hand went through his lip, and I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!" And it was the same fish. It was when we caught it. It was 3 months, 514, and when we caught it the last time, it was 412. But within, been taken back to the boat ramp 2 times, let loose across, and it was all within 100 yards.
So I was trying to keep count of this. 4 times total.
And 2 releases a mile away.
Yeah. We won those 2 tournaments, by the way. Thanks, Dusty.
In that one fish. Wow. I will say this. That is going to be probably one of the toughest stories that has ever been told on this to ever be beat. Like, I really am in shock. Somebody
asked why Dusty was like, I wonder why it's losing all that weight. I said, hell, every time it eats, it's plastic.
It's got a
Oh, man. That's funny. That is funny. So I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I'm going to kind of leak something out that I've been debating about. And this might be, for the next couple of interviews, I'm going to ask this. Folks ask questions, and I may wind up giving a special item. I have one item that is from Line Taming Serum that I have got that he wants to give away during our Hooked Up Lives. So I've got it right here. I'm trying to find it. So I've got a rod sleeve, and I may wind up giving this thing away to one of the best questions for this season on our Hooked Up Lives. And I'm going to tell you, Austin, that's a contender, brother. That is a strong, strong contender. So we will definitely.
My fish, I get.
You can throw outside.
Well, so the pirate again says, make them sweat. And Ben Kersey, I believe Kersey, if you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby style. Gotta love it. So,
best out there.
All right.
Know that.
No.
Last topic, because this was something that, and I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but it's not necessarily fishing styles, fishing techniques, or anything like that. This is kind of where the industry is going to, and this will be the last discussion that we kind of go through unless comments come through. You mentioned your boat setup. You had also mentioned maybe as far as a dream boat setup. The industry in electric boating is changing rapidly. The motors are there, but there are still some challenges from all of the industry due to batteries. But what's your take on both of y'all for the ideal, that is my boat for life setup? Let's hear about it.
If we're staying total electric, which I've been on big waters and big boats. It's fun. It's just not really my deal, and I just don't foresee it. I just have too much fun, going to all these other lakes and the tournaments there, the industry and all is growing. The electric industry is so. Like I told you last night, I've talked with Scott Edwards, Elko, about boat setup. Obviously. So more or less what I'm looking into now is a 17.5, 18-foot boat, probably Minn Kota Talons, the EP50, the electric Elko electric outboard, all three. Most likely, as much as I love Lowrance, most likely going to switch to Garmin just for Panoptic's live scope. And Garmin has really good mapping as well. And may even try out switch from Minn Kota and go with the new Garmin patrolling motor as well, seeing that it's brushless. So just trying to be as energy efficient and best batteries as well. We know it's still they've got a lot of lithium batteries down. Cost is what is the hardest bullet to bite. So fully rigged boat, best of the best, iPad, Panoptics, the whole deal. If I'm gonna do it, it'll be the best. You know what I mean?
I just tell you the iPad and the hook story, the legendary Dusty Fish. I mean, this is just, I'm telling you, I have thoroughly enjoyed the interview with both of you men. And here's the thing, it's not necessarily, and I don't mean this, y'all don't take hopeful offense to this. It's not necessarily about who finishes what place, but it's moments like this, just getting to know people, sharing experiences from life with one another, let them know just personality, who they are. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing the interview with both of you men. Really have.
Appreciate it. A good time.
Good time.
And I appreciate all of our fans tonight tuning in live. Even though for a second that conversation started going about the hook, we dropped so many viewers, but they came back, I do believe. So maybe it was technical difficulties. But man, thank y'all. I'm going to wrap up the show, and we will see y'all. Next time I see you will be probably May 30th at Hard Labor Creek Reservoir.
See you there.
See you then, bud.
All right. Appreciate it. So, Bass-TEC fans, there you have it. That was an amazing interview from two hammers in the state of Georgia. And I'm thankful that they took the time tonight to sit down. All the questions that y'all have. That's really the biggest thing is we could sit down and do these interviews, but without our fan base, we would not be nothing. So thank y'all. Thank our sponsors. How appreciative we are for all the commitment from each one of y'all. So again, I'm going to reiterate again, the last of the segment here. We will be doing the drawing for these items this Friday night. We will announce the winners. So all you have to do, like this YouTube video, leave us a comment in the comment section of this video, and then back on our Georgia Bass-TEC Facebook page, you have to share this video. So folks, again, we thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in tonight. Appreciate all the great comments that each one of y'all had. Stay tuned. We're going to be going hooked up live again here in just a couple weeks. So appreciate all of y'all tuning in. Thank y'all.